Avi Lipkin vandrer fredfullt rundt i hagen. Men dette er ingen pensjonert 70-åring som vil leve rolig i en liten forstad til Jerusalem. Lipkin har skarpe og kontroversielle meninger, og nå har han startet sitt eget parti, The Bible Bloc Party. Hans neste mål er å komme inn med flere medlemmer i det israelske parlamentet, Knessets. Første sjanse er ved valget neste år. Sannsynligvis holdes det i november.
My approach is not this election.
No.
My approach is the next election, or the election after. But I have to explain this. It's not an easy thing.
Men han spår dystre ting før vi kommer så langt. Naboer på alle kanter venter bare på en anledning til å øse sine raketter over Israel, mener Lipkin.
The war with Iran will include Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas, Gaza, and Syria. This is going to be probably the biggest war that Israel has ever faced, because the Hezbollah has 150,000 rockets and they're just crazy to use them. And Hamas has all these rockets and they're crazy to use them. And they don't think that human life has any value. They are totally subjugated to Allah to destroy and wipe out this Jewish state. So I think that if God forbid, and as I expect there will be a war, then all the parties will just, be quiet and finish till the November elections. But I think that when we see that the Iranians have pushed too far with their missiles into Iraq, into Syria, and Hezbollah is moving into the Golan Heights, they are desperate for war, because otherwise Iran will be defeated by the international powers and the regime will be overthrown. So for the Iranians, it's good to have war, they think, but it's wrong for the Iranians to think that. Anyway, Israel is in the middle of a very, very tough situation with neighbors who are dreaming of war and wiping out the Jewish state. Bible Bloc means, B-L-O-C, means one group and another group coming together. So the Jews and the Christians are coming together. The ideology is the Old Testament, because we agree on the Old Testament. We agree on everything in the Old Testament. The Christians believe in the New Testament, wonderful. The Jews believe in the Talmud, wonderful. But we both agree on the Old Testament. So for example, you have love the Lord thy God. I think you've heard of this. Love thy fellow as thyself. You've heard of this. 10 Commandments. You've heard of this. And there are many, many more commandments. When I speak in churches, I teach in Christianity the Jewish roots. And so there are so many things that we share in common, and that will be the ideology. It'll be Jews and Christians in a unity party, in an alliance party, in a love party. And this will be the first time in 2,000 years. We have to have at least 100 signatures, and we actually twice we had to do this, because the first time it took 11 years. It wasn't easy to get people to believe in a Jewish-Christian alliance party, and the government changed all the forms. So they said, no, it's not accepted. You have to go do everything a second time. But I had the names, so I just called everybody. It cost me another $20,000. So it cost me $40,000 plus $15,000, which is the Knesset bond. We had 108 signatures, 2 signatures, excuse me, 2 signatures for some reason were not accepted, so we went down from 108 to 106. The law stipulates 100 signatures, and we did it, and we paid all the fees, and we are recognized. The situation is like this. The political party needs about 150,000 votes to go past the threshold. There's a threshold. If you have 140,000 votes, you don't get in. So the idea was to block small parties. But my party is not going to be a small party. It's going to be a big party. My idea is, at first, to build up support among the Arabic-speaking, Hebrew-speaking, English-speaking. Of course, welcome the Russians to come in. I'm just hoping that this party will not become a Soviet party. And the reason I'm saying this is because I am expecting massive immigration from the West. Jews are married to the Christians, 80% in America and Canada. We have 6 million Jews, 4 million Christians who are married to each other, and the Muslim immigrants, the Muslim terrorists who are going to the West are saying we are going to kill all the Jews and all the Christians. So I'm expecting a tsunami, a massive wave of Judeo-Christian immigrants coming to Israel. And so if 1 million came from Soviet Union, 10 million will come from the West. And so my party's bottom line is preparing for the massive immigration from the West. We have to get over the hatred of the past. And I think God sent the Muslims as a test. God is testing us. And so I'm believing this is the hint from God that the Jews and the Christians need to love each other. There is no other party who's giving any representation to the Christians. And the Christians pay taxes, they vote, they're married to us, and many of the Christians serve in the Israeli army. And they have no representation. We say in America, give me a break. I've been preaching in churches all over the world because the Christians are very open to my message, whereas the Jews really don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear about the second Holocaust, but there's a second Holocaust coming. And we have to prepare to save the Jews and the Christian spouses and bring them to Israel.
Lipkin maner til fred og kjærlighet mellom jøder og kristne. Det den beste alliansen for å stoppe islam. Det kan være langt fram både med kjærligheten og veien til Knesset, og Lipkin innforstått med at han kanskje ikke får oppleve alt selv. Men han har i hvert fall satt i gang noe.